guys, it's Margie, and today I'm doing a movie review of the 1956 film Never Say Goodbye. This film starred Rock Hudson, Cornell Borchers, I hope I'm saying that right, George Sanders, Shelley Fabares, Ray Collins, Robert F. Simon, and believe it or not, Clint Eastwood. I'll tell you about that in just a minute. It was directed by Jerry Hopper, and the music, the soundtrack, was by Frank Skinner. Let's jump right into this thing. The basic plot is that there is this doctor, and he has a little girl, and he goes to meet with some friends or some other doctors or something, and he runs into his wife, who he has thought has been dead for like the past 7 years. He thought she was dead. And they go into like the flashback of how they met and everything like that. So that's kind of basically where the film is going to take you. Alright, I'm going to just dive right into performances here. Rock Hudson I thought was good. I did. I thought he was solid. I didn't think this was his best performance, but he was definitely, like I said, solid. I did find, though, that he fell a little bit into the trap of, okay, if you've seen, like, my previous review of Ginger in the Morning from 1974, I talked about how actors a lot of times can fall into the trap of the starry-eyed, I'm acting, overacting, you know, type of thing, where, you know, it's just like, oh, but so-and-so, I love you. You know, it's a little too much. I did feel like he did a little bit of that, but it wasn't ridiculous, and it wasn't ridiculously obvious, and I thought on the whole he gave a very strong performance, so good for you. Cornell Borchers, really great job. Really, really great job. I've never seen any of her other movies. I didn't even know who she was until I saw this film, but she was absolutely fantastic. I gotta say, though, all I kept thinking watching her was, oh my gosh, Irene Dunne would have killed this role. I'm a pretty big Irene Dunne fan. And since Cornell Borchers is also German or Russian or something like that, then I was like, oh, Irene. But she would have been probably too old. I think she was like 55 when this film came out. So, yeah, that would have been a little creepy. Okay, George Sanders, good. Really solid. I thought he was good. Shelley Fabares was really good, and she was like young. You know, she was the child in this movie. She was very solid, and she had a successful film career after this. So, and I saw that coming. I thought, I bet she did a lot of work after this, because she was better than a lot of child actors in that she didn't fall into the starry-eyed acting, which is, but mother, so and so and so. You know, like I'm sorry, I'm being so annoying with the examples, but like. Just kind of so you know it, I mean, she didn't fall into too much of that. She did a little bit, but a lot of people did in the 50s, so I know it's like quicksand, you just fall into it. I'm kidding. Okay. Ray Collins, good job. Robert F. Simon, great job. Really, really brief role, but I've seen him in several other things. He's such a great actor and did a lot of supporting work, 40s, 50s, and 60s. Clint Eastwood had really about 2 minutes of screen time, but I thought it was worth mentioning him. And the one line that he had, he was absolutely ridiculously fantastic. Okay, moving on. Oh my. The music for this, as I said, was by Frank Skinner. Oh my goodness. Lovely. Absolutely lovely. The music for this was just so freaking lovely. Oh, good grief. It was so beautiful. And Frank Skinner also scored Harvey and like a ton of other films in that era, so he is really, really something else. Jerry Hopper did the directing. This was actually probably better directing than a lot of movies in the 50s. I felt like it had kind of a cookie-cutter plot, but I thought the directing was better than a lot of cookie-cutter movies that were made in the 50s and stuff like that. So, yeah, better than, like, a lot of films around that time. Obviously not one of the best, and, you know, he's no John Ford and all that, but, I mean, it was a lot better than it could have been. I mean, it could have just been standard, and there was actually some really nice parts of this. Here are my notes. I did like a little brief write-up synopsis of this. Cornell Brothers did very well for herself. though Irene Dunne would have been truly lovely, but she was too old for the role. Rock was pretty good too, a little cheesy at times, like I mentioned. Same with the little girl, but she could have been a lot worse. Directing had some really lovely moments. Really lovely moments. Supporting cast was very solid, but I will say the overall tone of the film was a little too serious for me. I know it's supposed to be like a drama and really serious. However, there should have been a few more funny moments, and the moments that were supposed to be funny weren't really funny, and we needed a little more comic relief in this film. Parents' Guide, no language, no sexual content, a couple low-cut dresses, and some kissing. That's it. Violence and gore, really none. I can't think of any. If you want to call this violence or gore, Cornell Borchers' character gets hit by a car around the beginning of the film, but nothing's shown. We see like the headlights coming at her, and then she's on the ground. Drug and alcohol, there's lots of smoking, and there's a pretty good bit of, well, not a whole lot, but some champagne and stuff like that, so not too much to worry about. But anyway, guys, yeah, on the whole, pretty solid film. Better than like a lot of cookie cutter movies in the 50s, I gotta say. And I know I keep saying that. This is not one of the best films of the 50s. I'm by no means saying that, but I'm just saying, and I've said this before, a lot of movie makers fell into the, we're just going to make this for money, this will, earn some cheap bucks, and yada yada yada. And, this was probably intended for that, but it had a lot better quality work done on it that made it nicer. So, great for that, yeah. Would I watch this again? Possibly. I'm not going to rule it out. Cornell Borchers was great, and the Rock Hudson fans should definitely give this one a watch. But anyway, guys, this has been my movie review of the 1956 film Never Say Goodbye. I hope you enjoyed it. Please subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys later.